camera does. So that camera plugs into this guy, which is, as you can tell by the wiring, goes right there, goes behind all of this, and it's just a cigarette lighter adapter. So here's that cigarette lighter adapter. I click that, and that front camera comes on. Car does not have a 360 cam, nor did I want to invest in something extravagant. This works perfectly for my needs. It's wireless. I did not have to run a wire to the front bumper of the car. And as you can tell, it's a pretty good setup. It does. Again, cigarette lighter adapter. This is that wire going to the camera. Actually, this is the wire going to the camera. There's a little bit of kink here. I wish I could do something with that. I might in the future do something with that because I don't like that kink. And after I press that button, it does go off after 30 seconds or a minute, I believe. Let's see. Some of the other mods, as you can tell, I put a ambient lighting strip. Okay. Again, nothing I've done to the car. Nothing I've done to the car. I do not have any wires cut or anything like that. Everything is either using a add a circuit box to the fuse box. Sorry, not a circuit breaker box, to the fuse box, or it's powered by a USB here. So how this works, you kind of wedge, these things come in strips. You kind of wedge these in between any of the gaps that you have. That was the best space or the place for me to put that. Didn't want to put it down here. Ideally would have loved to put it down here, but there's a pretty, there's a pretty big curve here, and there's some more curvature here, and this thing just doesn't like to be bent that way. It probably could, but it'll pop out. So I just wanted to keep it in as many straight places as possible. Same thing there. The straightest place possible was that. And then I've done the same thing down there. If you don't know already, these things pop out fairly easily. You just run the wire back there. And what I've done is, for those lights, I've actually tapped into the switch. Okay, I've actually tapped into the switch, and it works really, really amazingly because you don't even have to take, you don't have to cut any wires, you don't have to do anything. All you have to do is literally the positive and the negative for these guys, right? And they're all controlled by a remote control module, right? That's why they can be in different places. So that's controlled by one module. This is controlled by another module. That's controlled by another module. And the ones in the backs are controlled by another module. So there's about 4 or 5 modules around, and they all work off of this parent unit that I have. After I've taken that off, it's actually back there. There's pretty good room basically underneath this or behind this. And the way these positive and negatives work is that once you've figured out between your switches and all the different plugs that are available to you, once you've opened up the door card, you could literally, after you've identified that, which one is positive and negative with the ignition on, etc., you could literally slide them into the clips itself without having to cut any wires or anything like that. I'll see if I can find a picture or a video to help you figure that out. Wish I had taken a video when I uploaded this, or sorry, when I worked on this, but I was just too excited to get to working on this. I do have some pictures that I'll post. I don't have any videos. But again, no wires cut, no nothing. If I had to revert this back to OEM, I could do it in less than half a day. And every single wire in the car is perfect. There are no splices, no cuts, no nothing. That because it's up here, I do have a little bit of an issue with the glare. Sorry, let me just put this down. I do have a little bit of an issue where I get a glare on the mirror, right? I get a glare on the mirror right here from these guys being so close. So this light bounces off of here, and I get this little thing here, which is fairly annoying, to be completely honest. It's a bit annoying to have that at nighttime, especially in your side mirrors. It's a little dangerous. Not a big proponent of this, but the good thing is I can actually turn this off. There's a switch down here. If you hold on to that long enough, it will turn off, as you see. Turn that whole thing off, and then switch again, and there it is. You can change the colors, but with my red, I kind of just leave it on red. All right, I think it matches beautifully with the red stitching and the red seats. Also, another thing you might have noticed, obviously, is that there's no more wood. I didn't like the wood grain. Yeah, it's not a sports car, but between the red, the black, I just felt like doing something different. I didn't want to wrap it in vinyl. I didn't want to go full carbon fiber look. I think everybody's doing carbon fiber. I wanted to do something a little different. So I went with this carbon fiber looking honeycomb thing. Absolutely amazing. And in order to do that, I did take off everything, took off the insert itself, wrapped it. I think I've got a video or a picture of that, and put it back. Same thing on the door switches. Same thing on the sides. I did go overboard and do the inside of that door handle. Didn't like it, so I didn't follow through everywhere else. So over here, I did not do that. I did not do that there. But here's a closer look of this side and how that looks. Switch is there. Did the same thing in the back, so I don't know if you can see. There you go, a little bit on the bottom. You can see that. What else? What else have I done? That's about it. I think that is about it. The only other thing on the outside that I forgot to mention is I did swap out for LED signals. The front one is right there. Even with the tint, even in the daytime, in the daylight, you can see that it's still bright enough. That's why I wanted the LEDs, because I did tint the lights, so I didn't want them to not show through. And I also did change the back tail light blinker to red. It's not coming through really well in the camera. At night looks really nice, and it's still fairly obvious in the daytime that that is a signal. I think that's about it. Those are all the mods that I've done so far. All right, I hope you liked the video. If you have any questions, comments, feel free to leave it down below.